Hello, this is Harry Paden. I am the host of Paden's Pulpit. Today is Season 1, Episode 12, and it's entitled Hope Requires Work. Let me say that again. Hope requires work. We are, most of us, elated on some things that have taken place just recently, and it deals with the subject of hope. First, let me describe or give a definition of hope. Hope, H-O-P-E, is a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. Examples: I hope I win the lottery. Some people hope they get the job. Some people hope that the girl that they like likes them, vice versa. Hope is a feeling of expectation and a desire for a certain thing to happen. But hope requires action. Hope requires work. Let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who was just confirmed as the first black female Supreme Court justice, in her high school yearbook wrote, and it's right underneath it, like most of us have those quotes. In quotes, it says, these are her words: I want to go into law and eventually have a judicial appointment. That's what is there. Many years ago when she was in high school, her hope, I want to go into law, which she did. She became a lawyer. And eventually, knowing that it takes work to become a judicial appointment, you can't become a judicial appointment just out of college. It requires work and a body of work. And eventually have a judicial appointment. Now, we're celebrating her appointment, and it's certainly a great appointment. But never forget that back in 1967, August 30th, one of my grandson's birthday, August 30th, 1967, Mr. Thurgood Marshall was appointed the first black male, period, black Supreme Court justice who happened to be male. So that happened let me do the math, 55 years ago? 55 years ago, older than some of you. So that was a historic day. Another example of what is hope. The people of Ukraine, in spite of having less weaponry and less numbers of soldiers, have fought back against a brutal invasion from their Russian neighbor. Most of us, just looking at it, powerful Russia was going to come in there and just wipe them out and take control of their country. The people, particularly the men, who just happen to, be, they don't want their women out there fighting, though I'm sure there's some women that are fighting. They said, look, honey, go here, go there, as refugees. We're going to stay here and we're going to fight for our land. And they have been successful. Russia has now had to reevaluate because Ukraine said, our hope is to keep our land. And they have done it. They have that feeling of expectation that if we get out here and we fight, and the desire for certain things to happen, Russia won't take us out. And their hope has got them really, really going good. Let me relay a story to you. One time I was supporting young minister that I know, and she was having a women's convention where the women got together and just, had like a panel discussion on mostly women issues, but issues in general, particularly to women of color. Great dynamic panel. This young minister, Minister Kyra Buford, who is associated with Unity Freedom Baptist Church, facilitated it. One of the presenters asked this question, and me being there, I had to think. Question was asked. She asked the audience, "Have you ever felt hopeless?" And I thought about it. And I can honestly answer, I have never, ever in my life felt hopeless, without hope that something better could happen, that something would change. I've never felt that. Now, I was born in Harlem. I was raised in the Scudder Home projects. A lot of people in those environments have felt hopeless, and they might have even had a reason to feel hopeless. But I've never felt hopeless. Now let me explain. I felt helpless. You get in a car accident, you get sick. I'm helpless because I cannot necessarily do anything about it. But when it comes to hope, I got to get the car fixed. I got to go to the doctor. So I might have felt helpless, but there was hope. I've never felt hopeless. Hopeless is a definitely down condition. Our people, black people, African Americans, we have overcome. The Native Americans were not good slaves because they weren't used to being able to not be in control. So when they felt helpless, they felt hopeless, and they succumbed. Whereas black people, to our detriment, we overcame. They whipped us, we went, got better, and still maintained. Found ways to get away, found ways to gain our freedom, and we are the magnificent people we are today because of hope. Now, 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, 1st to the 13th verse, one of the greatest epitaphs about love. You should read it. I'm not going to read that whole thing, but it ends. And now, these three remain: faith, hope, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. No denying that. But hope is a close second. Like in a race where you measure by nanoseconds, hope is very close to love. Because if you give up hope, you're in despair. There are people who give up hope. They stay in bed all day. They don't do this, they don't do that. You'll never get out of a condition if you give up hope. Hope helps you through life's adversity. But hope requires work. You have to do something. I can't hope that I'm going to win the lottery and not play tickets. I can't hope that I get the job and not, I'm retired, I don't need a job, but you understand. Hope that I get a job, but don't apply, don't prepare myself, don't have the credentials. Hope requires work. Please, people, let's now recognize that things that are needed to be done, we as people of color can do anything. We have a person of color, a female young lady of color, vice president, now in the Supreme Court, flying to the moon, inventing things that helped the space program. I could go on and I could go on. Hope requires work. Don't fail to put in the work. Let me see if I can find this book. This book, I forget how many, but it has I think 14 people who had hope. Nelson Mandela, this book I wrote, uh, and it talked about Nelson Mandela, Sonia Sotomayor, Benjamin Mays, Maxine Brown, John Lewis, Shirley Chisholm, Colin Powell, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, Jesus Christ. They all had hope. And I detail it. This book is available on Amazon. I'm not promoting the book, but it's a good book. It's a thick book. It's written in big print. Quotes and motivational words / stories, including the people behind it. Just search Harry Paden in Amazon. I have 4 books. I'm not trying to sell books. Books will sell themselves. Hope requires work. Let's put in the work. There is nothing we can do without faith, hope, and love. Go to 1 Corinthians 13th chapter, the 1st to the 13th verse, if you have any questions about what love is. To God be the glory. I hope, sorry, crack myself up. I hope you found this informative.